And we are here. Oh my gosh. Happy Friday Eve to y'all. It don't seem like it for us.
No, well, I mean, we kind of been on Friday
Look.
day.
Yeah.
No, Saturday. We've been on Saturday for a little while.
Yeah, we've been on Saturday for a minute. But happy Friday Eve to you guys. Welcome to ReHash. Every Thursday at 7 p.m. So we're so glad to be with you all today.
I'm excited about being here.
Yeah, I'm excited.
We're off sabbatical fresh.
Yeah.
Our first little month, and we're getting back into the routine.
Yeah, most definitely.
Let me give a shout out to my impactors. Y'all are doing a great job. I'm getting back into the swing of coming to church and being discipled. I think we're grabbing the concept that believers get discipled.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we're just here. I'm excited about it.
Amen to that. Yeah, definitely. So as you guys are coming in, please, of course, the normal, the great thing to do, being digital evangelists by making sure that you are tagging somebody in, commenting, hey, I'm here with y'all, I'm watching with y'all, I'm live with y'all, and then also sharing this, if you don't mind sharing this on your page. I know it's crazy because when I first created my Facebook, people probably thought it was going to be for specifically me.
Uh-huh.
And then when I realized, like, I use it, I don't post as much as me. Like, everything is about church.
Wow.
Everything's
Wow.
about church.
Uh-huh.
So the crazy, like, Facebook stories that people was telling me, like, oh, maybe I might get Facebook. I don't have that.
You don't have that?
No. So I also say that to say, share some stuff with me. Like, just DM it to me. Inbox me. I kind of want to know the tea, too.
Right. Plug me in.
Plug me in. But yes, definitely tag some people, comment, and share this on your page. And we are going to just get into it because we are not wasting no more time when it comes down to this.
Yeah. But let me say this. We have been getting suggestions.
Oh, I love that.
And they've been telling us, change your background.
Yeah, no,
Do
definitely.
different
Yeah.
arena.
Change the scenery.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm looking at the camera and, oh, my God.
Yeah. I'm going to have to use this for my birthday.
This is beautiful. Do you see this?
Mm-hmm. I'm going to have to use it.
And I love the chair. I feel like all presidential.
Well, I'm a little small. But, I like it too.
Yeah.
I like it too. But we're doing this for y'all.
Yeah.
It matters. And I think we also talked about, like, it matters, like, in the classroom.
Mm-hmm.
Even if, you have to be sitting at a desk all day, sometimes you got to move around. Like,
Yeah.
you just get to a point to where, like, this is not doing anything. It's not effective to you anymore. So
Yeah.
changing the scenery around, changing your environment, that is very important. So I like how we're able to
Engage. That too. Absolutely.
And if you guys are liking it, definitely continue to give those suggestions. We love to hear. We love to make it to where you guys are watching us, be comfortable watching us as we're comfortable presenting to y'all.
Yeah. I'm excited.
Amen to that. So, Pastor, how are you enjoying your well, for those who have fall break, as educators.
I'm loving my fall break.
Like, how are you enjoying your fall break? Your early fall break.
I'm loving it. I am enjoying myself. I've got the chance to rest.
Yes.
I got some pastoral work done.
Yeah.
The only thing I have not been able to do yet is find me a good chiropractor with a massage therapist. Get my back worked on.
Yeah. Definitely getting on that.
Deep tissue
Yes,
massage.
it's so important.
That's powerful.
It's very important.
Yeah. So
make you move around.
Yeah. And so,
I need to get into it.
I'm telling. Listen, insurance pay for it. Amen.
Use it up.
I also got a chance to go to Impact Tuesday.
Yes. Oh my gosh, that was a great service. Y'all did not catch it. Please go catch it.
Yeah, it was. The Lord was good to us.
Yeah.
I really want to hear Mr. Williams, but
yes.
The saints were like, nah, you need to preach.
I love you. You here? You might as well.
Preach. I said, all right. But it's a quick shout out to her.
Yes.
She's been holding the fort down on Tuesdays.
No, most definitely.
And the leadership team has been there.
Definitely support in doing that.
And we're proud of them sticking together and leading the way. And we're just pushing the saints to get behind them and help them do what we do best.
Yeah.
She even had a chance to preach in Richmond, Virginia.
Yeah, I saw on Facebook. I see y'all be seeing that type of stuff. That's why I like Facebook.
That was the girl, she preached her something too. I was proud.
Oh, we are. We're just loving that.
Representing the church well.
Yeah, no, very
Okay.
much so. You know, and that's always important. You said something that's like, you know, the leaders that are there, just getting behind and actually everyone coming together, and which talks so much about like what it is that we actually stand for, like together.
Yeah.
As we're women, this is how we're going to make it happen. So it just, continues to bridge that gap, bridging it in, and just allowing us to just really work together as a
Yeah.
whole. Like, while people are in Columbia, people are in Atlanta, people in Florence, Augusta,
online,
all that,
all
all
over the
that
place.
Roku,
Roku,
all
yeah.
that. So like, just continue to put our brains together, our hands together, our hearts together, and being able to work. So I love that.
Amen.
Love into that. So yeah, as you guys are definitely coming, go ahead and make sure you comment. I'm here, and share, tag, all that great stuff. Yeah. So definitely. I mean, I'm also enjoying my break as well.
I was enjoying to hear about your break.
I'm also enjoying mine as well.
Mhm.
I have wrote some things down on my list. Look.
I'm sure it's because you have a birthday coming up.
Oh, well, I had that. It gets really, really like I be having to be on go mode. Like September and October is like those months for me. But yes, I just, of course, because my birthday is coming up, but also because of some things that I've been wanting to get done, and just more of not just letting the week go by and me feeling like I haven't done anything. So I have to write myself a list, and for the most part, I've been getting those things done. And so I'm very happy about that. I've been catching up on rest as well, but for some reason, I still find myself waking up early.
Yeah, the early thing is kicking my tail.
It's like, okay, well, if this is the new norm, then I guess let me utilize it the best way possible. So I've been enjoying mine as well. So yeah.
Awesome.
Yes, most definitely. So as you guys are coming in, go ahead and share maybe how your week is going for us, for yourself, especially as the weekend is coming up. What is it that you have been doing this week? What have you gotten done this week? Definitely want to chat with you guys. Always want to be the ones always
Share
talking.
that story.
We want to hear your story as well. So yes. So you made your shout out, definitely.
Okay, I did.
Yes, and
also happy birthdays.
Yes, happy birthdays for the month of September.
Yeah, so far we've had Tiara, Sister
Marie.
Sheena, Maria, Sister Lanaya, my brother Lonnie.
Okay,
Lonnie's birthday was Friday.
Okay.
And Messiah's birthday is Friday as well.
Okay.
So and I think Messiah would be the youngest baby in the church.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. And so that's exciting.
Yeah.
So September is full.
Definitely full of birthdays.
I don't know what y'all be doing. Let me see. August, July, June, May, April, March, February, January. Oh,
January.
That's that Christmas, New Year Eve.
Hey.
Y'all better stop all that movement.
This is where I just keep quiet. This is where I keep quiet. And I'll just let y'all pass to me.
I'm sorry.
Say nothing.
Please forgive me. Oh, no, okay.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Y'all probably get started on Thanksgiving. I know what it is, all that holiday.
It's
Anyway.
Right. We'll save it for what? Like
a singles conference or something. A marriage conference.
Can't wait. Those are going to be fun.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely, as you've given out your shout outs, we'll just definitely go with that, because I definitely agree as relates to everybody coming together. So today is for national holidays, and we were having a conversation beforehand before getting on ReHash, and even in the book, and specifically the title that the chapter that we're in, everything always like funds its way accordingly with something.
Mhm.
And today is National Get Ready Day.
Ah,
And it's more specific for specific crisis, or anything of that sort, like just being able to be prepared, equipped with the things that's needed. You just never know when this may happen, and just wanting to feel somewhat prepared. So I'm going to ask, how would you, if we was to get off live right now, how would you feel prepared for something that may happen right after? What is the steps that you would do to try to get prepared?
normally I meditate on something for a long time. I do some research. And I'll play around with how I want to go about doing it. Um, then I just go do it.
Yeah.
Like for instance, last night I spent about 2 or 3 hours prepping and planning for Lead to Impact.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
And I literally, everything's pretty much booked.
Wow. Yeah.
And so,
That's crazy.
yeah, right. It's done. And, at this point, I'm just gonna be playing around with, okay, how do I want to go about doing it? How do I want to carpet out? How do I want?
Right.
Yeah. And so, yeah, that's my playbook.
Yeah.
Yeah, I sit down, I write it out.
Yeah.
That's okay. These parts match. Let me lock them in, and then I worry about logistics as I go down the road.
Wow. That's good. I'm still in the fact that you said Lead to Impact is fully.
Yeah, it's done. Yeah, probably got a little piece of it.
Yeah,
but the meat of it.
Yes,
oh yeah, I can release a flyer right now.
Wow, come on now. Come on now. Okay, so yeah, I love that. I do love that. Thank you for giving us that. I think for me, if we were to end the live, and I need to go get prepared for something, I'm always going to run to a pen and paper. For the main part, jot down those things that comes to my first mind. Like, let's say if I'm preparing for a trip, like those things that you can easily forget. The main thing, well, it's not the main things, but those specific details. I find myself looking at a lot at the details more so. So preparing for that, and then actually as I get that part out the way, then going for the whole picture, trying to look through like, okay, what am I specifically planning for, and things of that sort. So definitely utilizing pen and paper. That's my planning process. And I have to go to at least like 4 or 5 times, and I'll be ready. I'll be ready to go prepared itself. But I love that. So thank you for sharing that with us.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited.
We just did something at work and for training.
Uh-huh.
What was it called? You remember? And I said I was going to take it and use it for us. The visionaries, the dreamers, the doers.
Oh, yeah, where they had us do like a...
and we had to go walk right on the wall.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Like,
I know
much, it was like some type of... You rate yourself in those things. So yeah, definitely one of those type of tests. Like, what type of person are you? And I think we happen to be the side of the creed. I know we're the people who kind of get sidetracked a little bit because we have so many ideas going on in our head.
Yeah,
but
it's just something. I don't
definitely
remember.
bring that to you guys.
I think that'll be fun to do.
Yeah, it was a really great project, a great activity to do with people that you realize that you're working around with, and it kind of helps you, like, especially in the church. I think that's definitely way important because you can try to identify those like characteristics that you have as it relates to getting something done, and it allows me to realize, oh, well, maybe she doesn't necessarily understand the way I do things. I don't necessarily understand the way she does things, or he, and this project or that activity helps you with that for sure.
Yeah.
I agree. So we'll definitely have to bring that to you guys. Maybe like one of those trainings that Pastor put together. He like to put a training together in the heart.
Y'all haven't had one in a while.
Yeah, we haven't. I ain't gonna look. I've been enjoying it. But sometimes you need it. Sometimes you need it. So I know that'll be something you utilize soon.
Well, fun.
Yeah, so I am excited and impressive. You're ready. I'm ready.
Okay.
I know this book has been blessing me tremendously. If anything, I think sometimes like it's like walk, and maybe it's for me. Like sometimes when I see a specific sermon um, on YouTube or whatever case may be, and I know it's like something that's going to really dig deep and hit the core.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I stray away from it.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, am I ready for that right now? Am I ready for it? And I think this book is, being that, this is something that we're presenting to you all and encouraging you guys to read. It's like, as I'm reading, I'm like, this is hitting my core.
Yeah.
And it's hitting those spots that needs to be hit. And specifically, this chapter was like, and I'll read the chapter on the second chapter, and it's like, why do we need disruptive thinking now? And whenever he wrote this book, of course, he may be talking about his now, but as we're reading this book, we're talking about our now, like this now. And it's like, why do we need it at this moment? And when we had our first rehash, coming back on, and we were talking about like, I'm going to utilize, as I said publicly, I'm going to utilize this book to go back to school. Like I'm going back to get my master's. I'm going to finish my master's. And like already putting that in your mindset and beating the odds of what other people may say, like, well, you've been out of school for probably this long. Once you're out of school, you're not going back, and things of that sort. But it's important to your now. And I think even then, identifying what specifically is your now, like what's going on around you, and so I'm excited for it.
I think it's critical to give ourselves permission to be disruptive. Because I love one of the illustrations he gives about coloring. Some people color in the line, while others color outside the line. And then some may even say, don't give me a line, give me a piece of paper, and let me draw my own line. Nobody's wrong. And I think that we become so accustomed, especially in the age of social media, now when I grew up, we had peer pressure. It's a great thing, but the pressure is really big now because you have to appeal to somebody's lens of what they think. Everybody has so many opinions, and so being disruptive gives yourself permission. You can be disruptive by giving yourself permission to draw outside the line. I don't have to do it your way, but I think wisdom comes with it as well, Joe. When we think about the idea that throwing a rock, another illustration, throwing a rock into the pond disrupts the pond, but taking a bulldozer to the pond destroys, or deconstructs the pond. We don't want to be so unwise that we destroy in the name of creativity. But we want to be wise enough to say that my creativity, although it may make you uncomfortable, it may be offensive, but I'm willing to take this risk in order to help shift culture so that we can add life and value to what it is that we're trying to accomplish. May I insert this right here? I wrote this earlier today. I feel like it goes good right here. I was talking about leadership, and in our church, we talk about leadership a lot, and we also push the idea that leadership is not necessarily a position, whatever, it's influence. And so when I talk about this, I want you to hear it in a collective manner. So I say leadership in its nature can be offensive, because leadership tends to think beyond what's seen, think beyond what's heard or understood. Leadership has the ability to see what's not there and pull you into it. Or although it's not broken, they still say let's fix it. It's not broke, but let's shift, right? Because after a while it's going to wear itself out. So leadership can be offensive. But this is why it's critical for disruptive thinkers and leaders to not be arrogant, not be prideful, because when this is attached to your heart as a disruptive, you can become disruptive. Because what you're doing already brings offense. And people and society is left to interpret the offense, right? They may not see the benefit of it. They may not know the need for it, but they may still follow you if you are exemplifying a heart, a character of humility, of grace, that is understood, that you may not want to go with the flow, but if you're disrupting the flow, then it must be something down the line, you know. And so living in tomorrow can be offensive, it can be disruptive, but the heart posture determines whether or not I'm going to disrupt and we will follow, or if I'm going to destroy or and then bring new people to walk away. So I thought that was.
Oh my God, that is very powerful. It does matter, as you said, your heart posture. I love how you mentioned that, and actually being humble, that humility, and actually, not to be prideful of, like, okay, if you know that this is who you are, this is what you're called as far as a leader, and being that disruptive, just having that disruptive thinking mindset, understanding that like it's gonna be people that are like not agreeing with you, but as you stated, your heart's in the right place. We can see, like, okay, this is coming out of good deed, and things of that sort. We're going to be willing to follow you. And just as with pastors, I'm sure but you are. So even then, like when it's a change that is needed, or for example, when you call prayer and we are fast, it's time for us to fast. I'm like, again, and things of that sort. But because we understand that the intent behind it is pure and things of that sort, and that this is something that you received from God, we're going to be willing to follow you. Same thing with all type of.
Absolutely. Because the reality is that building credibility takes time. Right? And so as a disruptor, you can't be so offended in the beginning that when you do get the credibility, you're nasty, rude, and arrogant.
Come on.
Back then you didn't want me, but now I'm hot.
Look, if you don't sit down,
calm yourself down. It wasn't that we didn't want you, we didn't know you.
We didn't, and I didn't trust you.
Right, So now that you build some credibility, your disruptiveness starts to have a sound, starts to have clarity, right? I'm willing to follow. Thank God for those, because let me go to say this, because people don't buy what you do, they buy your why. But then even when they buy your why, you still deal with at least 3 categories of people around you. Apple dropped the new iPhone 15 from right here. They just also dropped iOS 17. Somebody waited in line all night long to get that phone. Somebody pre-ordered. Somebody saying, I'm going to wait till all y'all get it. And then I'm going to go, I'm not going to download today. I'm going to wait till they got the bugs out. Then I'm going to download. All right? Then somebody's going to say, I don't really care. I'll come whenever, because my phone still works. All I want to do is call people anyway. And so the ones that got in the line and they waited, the ones who pre-ordered, they have a disruptive mindset. But it still doesn't change the fact that at some point you're going to need what the disruptor offers.
Oh my God, that's so good, so powerful. Ooh, that was so powerful. Absolutely, I definitely agree. I agree. And I love the analogy. I love the paintings of the picture.
I'm learning that from you.
I'm a lover of that. So yes, that was really good. It's something that he states in his book, and when I read it, I automatically thought about so many things that has happened in my life, and not to just like continue to put those type of testimonies out, but but just thinking things like you have Black Americans who are doing everything that they were told is right, and it's not getting ahead. And that right there was like, that right there was something. And it's not to say that it's things that people have been telling you like is wrong. It's just, it probably does not fit your narrative. And I think developing that and adopting that mindset, like, okay, everything that you may tell me may not be fit for me, but it could be somebody else that is a disruptor just like me that can tell me something that will fit for me, like fit that puzzle piece for me. So in other words, and some people may say, okay, save for a car. save your money for a car. Other people may say, hey, if you take this loan out, you get the car, you pay on the loan, it builds your credit as well. Some people, you have your different mindsets, and what may work for you may work for you, and what may work for a disruptor may work for a disruptor. So it allowed me to see, like, if I would have continued to be saving, which I'm good at, but
gotta build that muscle.
I gotta get a little bit more endurance on that. Yeah. But just thinking of that, and how even doing it the other way allowed that muscle to grow as well. Yeah. So that was just something that I love that he stated.
Yeah, and even the tenacity it takes to stand outside the lines.
Oh yeah, definitely. On the other side.
Yeah, it's wow. Yeah. The strength that must take.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, most definitely. I do love that. Like I said, even focusing on that specific now, what's happening now in your life. He mentions then that America is literally dying.
Yeah.
And we probably could say the same, but we're not here to talk about all that. But, we can definitely say the same. So it's like, why are we waiting to be disruptive?
Yeah.
Like, why are we not just stepping out and being that disruptor like that we know that we have already?
I think the last time we were in this predicament as a country, I think it might have been the era of the Great Depression. Mm-hmm. The ones who seized, I remember preaching this in the time of the pandemic.
Look, now that was some good. I ain't gonna lie, that was some good preaching. It's great preaching now, but I think it was just because that was just,
we had to shift the people's mindset.
Yeah, we had to get somewhere.
We had to do something. We had to shake it. But the Great Depression is when I think that's when McDonald's came out. That's when some of the biggest ideas of the world came, right? And to understand that an idea's endurance is what 20 to 40 years, right? You look at it, we're looking at the fading away of Sears. Hardee's is starting to close down, right? So some of the leading brands in the world is starting to shift. They're dying. Yeah. Well, when I was coming along, it was Alltel. It was Sun something, whatever. But now it's just downright Verizon, AT&T, Spectrum. As far as the cellular devices, and so if we don't understand, the past generation was willing to go out there, they were willing to do it. Our generation, he's trying to get us to understand that we're not waiting for somebody to save us. Mm-hmm. We're not waiting for the right job opportunity, right? Yeah. Because we're not. Lord, this is gonna sound horrible. Some of us are so busy wanting to become influencers, but they keep changing the rules. And one time you went viral, now you can't go viral anymore. Mm-hmm. When will we realize that we're more than a like and share? Yep. When will we realize that we don't have to wait for social media to deem us to be influential, but that we can do other things to add value, to establish ourselves? I was talking to my aunt the other day.
Wow, that's so good.
And she was saying to me, we've always told you about land ownership, own land, get into investing in property, right? Because it's something that's concrete, it's something that's forever. Buy a house, that's home ownership, and so, but now we're moving away from things like this. And it's like, mainly because we don't know how to go about doing it. Yeah. But the reality is, dare to be different. Dare to break the cycle. I was watching a clip and I thought about getting it and uploading it, Joe. Jamal Bryant was talking about Black America being one of the richest nations in the world. Did you see that? $45 million in hair a year, $80 billion in skin care, something $1 million in clothes and shoes. And his statement just blew me. We are expensively clean, but stuck in dirt.
Yep. Jesus.
And it's because we if we took where we put our money and our time and actually put it into something that could disrupt the flow of poverty in our family, disrupt fatherlessness and uh, uh, um, single parenting. If we could just get in the flow, and disrupt what is becoming normal,
Yes.
and say, no, we're going to be a family.
Yeah.
No, we're going to, no, we're not going to just stay in this penthouse and pay $5,000 a month and drive a Maserati, but then can't buy a burger. No, we're going to go live. We're going to go buy some property. We're going to build this house, and we're going to do. I'm gonna buy a franchise. I'm gonna do something, because it's not that I don't have it. Maybe I need to braid my hair and go natural for a season, and actually take the time to the money I spend in hair. Somebody I just spend $1,500 a month.
Let me tell you something. That hair ain't no joke.
What if I took that and put it up for 1 year?
Yeah.
What could I do with that? We used to challenge, back in the day, we used to challenge cigarette smokers. And we would tell them, cigarettes are so expensive. If you didn't buy cigarettes for a year, this is how much money you save.
Yeah.
What if we broke the norm and allowed ourselves to say, you know what? Just because I'm in this state, it doesn't mean that it's my identity.
Yeah. Oh, that's so good.
And that I'm in this state to set the stage for me to walk into what's next.
Yeah.
Every great company knows something that we don't know. If I'm going to shift and do something different, the first thing they do is lay off.
Mm-hmm.
They skin the fat.
Yeah, you gotta get rid of some. You got to.
You got to get rid of ways of lives.
Yeah.
You got to cut that thing back. Why? Because you're trying to shift, and you can't shift with a whole bunch of things.
I love that. No, I definitely.
That's disruptive thinking.
That's definitely.
That's it. Yeah, I'm going to live with just my cell phone. I'm not going to use streaming services. I'm going to read books on entrepreneurship, read books on finances, and all the money I would have spent in streaming, I'm going to put in
investing in something else. And I think that's something that, and I'm not quite sure the actual year he wrote this, but I did see something.
This is brand new.
Oh, okay. Well, I definitely did seeing something as it relates to like him going back in specific times. He spoke a little bit about like the COVID era or whatever the case may be, but it brings me to that place to where it's like we had that moment around COVID-19. For a lot of people, oh my gosh, for a lot of people it was scary, that terrifying, especially for those people who actually had to deal with COVID. But also if you did not feel some type of extra pumped up, oh no, I gotta get this together. Realizing that I have to put myself somewhere else. I have to have this other type of either entrepreneurship mindset, something else, knowing that you have to keep something else in your pocket because you just never know. So, which also brings me back to, for those who missed it, it's National Get Ready Day.
Yeah,
and,
get ready.
But it's just like, and realizing that you had to really come out with the creative mindset, the destructive mindset, and put together something, whether you were going to, okay, I'm gonna stop spending money out here. Clearly, I can cook at home. I don't want to be around people anyways because we gotta wear masks and all this great stuff. But if I'm here at home and I'm cooking, now I can make videos and show people I can cook too, like the videos of cooking at home and things of that sort, like how popular that became and how popular it became.
Isn't that how we got Tabitha Brown?
It's just so many people developed in that moment, and it just realizing that we don't need that specific crisis to happen. It does not matter. You can start specifically at the now you're at, like right now.
Yeah.
You don't need another COVID-19 to happen for that.
Yeah, because it's all about meeting the need. Mm-hmm. Where there is a need, there is prosperity. Mm-hmm. If you can meet the need, you will prosper. Yeah. It requires thinking. We can't go through life feeling. Yeah. Feeling helps us to be in touch with where we are. Mm-hmm. But thinking helps us navigate where we are.
Yeah.
And so it boils down to, who are you? What are you trying to do? Are you going to be a consumer? Are you going to be a producer? Or whatever you're going to do, be disruptive in it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, and just
Because you know, I've been talking a lot about this, and as much as I want producers, the consumer has a valuable place too. You know, because whatever the consumer tolerates, the producer will give.
Yeah.
The reason why McDonald's won't tighten up on their customer service is because the consumer tolerates their slack and slowfulness.
Yeah.
It don't make sense every time you go to the milk machine.
I'm about to say, no ice cream, barely.
Then what you got the picture up there for?
Yeah. But we could still come back the next
day.
Waiting for it to see again.
I'm sure that's how lack of disruptive thinking costs you. Walmart loses billions of dollars a year to theft. All because somebody won't be creative enough to come up with a system to stop your cousin from running the TV out the front door. Not your cousin. It's not your cousin. I don't know. You don't know your cousin.
I hope it ain't my cousin.
It's not your cousin.
At the time, why you give me
right. And so if there's a problem, there's a need for a disruptive thinker.
Yeah, I mean, no, you definitely just hyped it up because him even going into this moment, I believe
that's what it was. Somebody. I'm sorry.
No.
Yeah, Tabitha Brown started off from a video that she made of herself eating a sandwich in her car from Whole Foods, and she loved it. I think she was driving Uber at the time. You see that? You see that? And then she started eating vegan to help with her health condition.
Yep. I remember her making some carrot bacon. She called it some type of
something. Willie Moore Jr. was being evicted out of his house. He sat down on his food, on his stuff, whatever, outside while packing the truck. Went live and reflected. I think it was on Whitney Houston's death, and the video went viral. And it opened up opportunity for him to become the youth pastor at their Barnabas Church. They began doing radio, and then he flat out, he became the name. It starts with something, but it doesn't. In other words, the condition doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what condition you are. You could be pregnant, you could be heartbroken, you could have a job, you could not have a job. But if God gave you an idea, be disruptive enough to plant it in the earth.
Yeah, absolutely.
Somebody, I feel this one. Somebody is sitting on $1 million idea because you recognize the need, but you won't step out and be disruptive because you're too plagued by what others think and what they have to say.
And that's another thing too, where you start telling the wrong people. Tell the wrong people that specific idea, and not necessarily that people may water it down for you. I wouldn't say always of that or making it seem like it's not needed, but God gave you the idea, God gave you the vision, God gave you access to see what was actually needed. They didn't give it to your friend, they didn't give it to your cousin, they didn't give it to your mother. And most of the times they don't have the words or the vision that God has given you, like that access of being a disruptive thinker. So you have to be the one.
I think we need to, and maybe I may preach this for a series and we'll talk about it, but I think we need to normalize the Noah experience, the Abraham experience, where when God spoke to you, nobody was there but you and God. Noah, build an ark. Abram, leave from your father's country. I'm going to do something in you that has never been done before. And I think we need to become comfortable with giving ourselves permission to doing what we cannot see someone else doing. And that even jumps back to Sunday sermon. I mean, Tuesday night sermon.
I'm about to say, I was hoping that we did have
talk about that.
Sometime to touch on that, and even with Mama Hope, Pastor, going up there and giving that powerful
Exaltation.
Look,
prophecy,
you know,
yeah.
prophecy, definitely prophecy at that moment. It's just like, and then you even coming and saying that, you know, no one is coming to save you. Like, you know, in the sense, like, this is God gave it to you. Go be destructive. He gave you the plan. Clearly, when you walk into that, you know, then the other doors will continue to open. Some of us are still probably stuck now because we have not reached out and actually did what He's told us to do the first time. And I believe that that's what she was talking about.
Yeah, push that,
When it relates to like the specific instructions on the GPS. So it's like you didn't even do the first thing yet, but yet you're waiting for God to tell you this, and that. Step into what He said first. He needs to be able to trust that you can trust His voice when it comes down to being destructive.
I love when she pointed that part about stagnation.
Yeah.
She says there's turbulence and stagnation.
Yeah.
You're stopping in the middle of the road, waiting for an instruction to do something different.
Yeah.
You know, but while you're stopping, there's cars behind you.
Waiting. Oh my God, that hit me so hard. I was like, yes, help me. Because we need that. We need that to understand that people are waiting for you to go and do what God had called you to do. Yeah. People are waiting for you, and you holding me up because I'm trying to see what's about that. You don't know what you're going to do by you doing what you're doing. It's going to help my life, help your family's life. You said you want to be a generational curse breaker, but yes, then again, like, you still doing what your family was doing in the first place. You can't break no curses like that.
And you know something, you're downloading, you're talking, something's downloading, so I may have to correct it later, but let me hit that, because sometimes we look at curses as oh, it's sin, you know, and that's an element to that, yes. But let me say something. Practices and behaviors that rob you of potential is a curse. Practices, behavior patterns that rob you of your potential is a curse. I just love having a good time. You're having so much fun that your potential is being robbed because you don't know the difference on when to put on a suit and a tie and when to stand up on a table. You've developed a part of you that's fun, but don't have the side of you developed that can navigate life whims. And so now, when it's not fun, you go from one extreme to the next. And so now, no wonder why you're womanizing or mad, whatever it is, women with the men, whatever it's called. You know, if you want to have that argument, you start abusing substances, or you lock up in the room and you won't talk to anybody, or you're cutting yourself, or you're doing these things. It's because we don't have, I won't say you, we have not developed a balance. And it's because we have allowed a behavior pattern to disrupt and rob us of potential. So what, you got disappointed? Why does disappointment take you to the extreme? Because there's a part of you that has not been developed, and that's a curse upon your life.
Just had to shake my head.
I'll even paint it better than that. If you've ever been a person who's been used in a relationship type, and you're used to being taken advantage of, and you're used to being hurt, and you're used to others being used, then it makes sense that when someone makes a mistake, you interpret it as abuse. Because all you've ever seen, all you ever known was someone taking advantage of you, someone lying you, someone disappointing you. Sometimes it's not the disappointment. It's not a malicious attack to slit your throat. Sometimes it's circumstantial. Sometimes it's not the devil. It's just life happening. And we have to be able to remain steadfast and unmovable and abounding, and not allow the undeveloped habits, and not allow the habits and potential, the behaviors to rob us of potential.
Yeah, no, That's good. I believe it was one time we even talked about it because you just said that it's not always the devil. I think we had a conversation on that too, like what happens when God is still has a knife to your
God has a
throat.
knife to your throat. Yeah.
And we take that moment and it's just like, but wait, if you just stick through that, it's continue to still be disruptive. Like just wait and let Him reveal to you like what it is that He was trying to do all along. Yeah, that's just that was powerful.
Yeah.
That's very powerful. He definitely talks.
How y'all feeling out there?
Just make sure please,
make sure y'all
check your temperature.
To us. I'm checking y'all on here, but y'all ain't saying that and talk to us.
But definitely, he definitely touches a lot on this. And like I said, this chapter must have been one of those, like he must have been in his preaching mode. And this time, because he talked about like this television show that he happened to be watching, and they were interviewing a guy, and he said that he couldn't get out his neighborhood. He felt like he was just trapped. He said he yelled at the TV. It was like, that's not true. That's not true. And even then, continues to talk like if you don't like your neighborhood, then leave it. If you don't like your living room, then paint it. Like he can't stress enough, like pretty much if you're miserable, you can change your life. You can change it.
You have the power, the ability, right? One scripture says, he says, I've given you power to obtain wealth. Yeah. Power represents ability. Mm-hmm. If you're broke, then there's an ability that you possess that creates wealth, right? Therefore, you have within you what you need to accomplish it. And can I tell you, we live on an earth that has the resources we need. Now, what are you talking about, McCants? Yep. Somebody took what was that? Alvo, ALVOE? What's that? Olive or not olive?
Aloe vera?
Aloe vera. Okay. Now, isn't that like a fruit or something, or is that a tree?
It's like a plant.
A plant.
And once you slice it in that, it's like this.
All right. The point is, Earth makes that. It comes from the earth. Yes, of course. Somebody was disruptive enough to see the vitamins.
It's used for so many great things.
And they took it. Yeah. And they packaged it. And they presented it. Yeah. And now for generations.
People using it.
Watch this. Yes, he became prosperous. Yeah. But there's a generation of people who deal with cracked skin. Mm-hmm. Messed up scalps. Yeah. I saw one video it deals with them in a way.
Yeah, hair growth.
Yeah. It's all because of what Earth already provided. Yes. It reminds me of the hymn once again. Yeah. Great is thy faithfulness, O Lord thy Father. All that I have needed, thy hand have provided. Great is thy faithfulness, O God, unto me. I think if we can move from feeling and to begin to think, we could find a way to disrupt the flow of poverty, insecurity, depression, loneliness, fear, shame, whatever it is that we're dealing with. We can find a way to disrupt it. Yeah.
No, most definitely. I agree. I definitely agree.
And let me push this. So why do we need disruptive thinkers? Because although it is a solution to your need, it is also the problem solved for a generation.
Yeah. And it definitely, and it's a problem solved for the generation because it's not just you that's going through. Everyone has to endure in that suffering, endure in that trauma, and you have the ability to be able to change all of that. And it seems scary because it's like, I don't know if it's the fear of stepping out. I know for me that has been something major, like just the fear of just actually doing it, because for one, you just never seen it happen in your family before. But what if you actually just took a chance and realized that I have nothing to lose at this, and actually stepping out, because I know that if this does work, and when this do work, it's not just for me.
Yeah.
I'm able to do this because God gave me the ability to do this for His people, and going back into serving His people.
Yeah. I think we should be afraid. I think we should live in a healthy fear.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I like how you say healthy fear.
yeah, a healthy fear.
Yeah.
Yeah. I, the times I've lived in healthy fear,
Mm-hmm.
I've discovered three things happen.
That's good.
I've discovered what I had in me all along.
Mm-hmm.
It was there. I, I,
Yeah. It's this. It's yeah.
I mean, I did it. I didn't know I could do it,
Yeah.
and I did it. And I mean, I was a natural. It just came out of me. You know, I mean, wow.
Yeah.
You know, where you are short, you grow
Mm-hmm.
because you recognize that your inability is where God ability picks up.
Yeah.
And God is so gracious enough that He extends grace that allows me to, that covers my mistakes, but it still gives me room to grow in my mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
So then there's an evolution that happens when I live in a healthy fear. The third thing that happens is it gives me an undeniable testimony
Yeah. I'm trying to
that
tell you.
consistently feeds my faith.
Yeah.
It's almost equivalent to
Yes.
like David. When David got ready to fight Goliath, they said, God told you to fight Goliath. He's paraphrasing. You too young. And he said, no, I know I can beat this Goliath. I know I can beat this giant. How do you know? Because on his slingshot, he had a notch of every time he did something he didn't know he could do. His fear became his testimony.
Yeah.
When I faced the lion, boom. When I faced the wolf, boom. When I faced the deer, boom. When I faced, so every time he held his staff in his hand, in the groove of the staff was the memory of when he was afraid and how he already had what he needed to beat his fear. It gives you a testimony that continuously feeds your faith when you are weary and well doing.
This 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 is just, it's really, like I said, every time I read the book, as I've been reading, just feeling it hitting your core, just hitting you, because as you, and you even said, some of us are actually sitting on some some major ideas that can really change the trajectory of our families' lives. And as we're reading it, we realize that we probably already know who, God has already given you a word. And the fact that you have not stepped into that specifically shows why this book is so needed in this moment. And it being in the right moment, the season of us becoming, and the time frame of us becoming. And say you have so many opportunities to disrupt your life to get the things that you need. And it's,
You have so many
yeah,
opportunities.
yeah.
That's speaking to somebody who says, but I missed my turn.
Oh no.
I'm too old. I actually watched him do an interview around that statement. And he said he was sitting with a bunch of important people. They were older. And he said, I'm getting older now. My time for that has passed. And the person said to him, oh, well, at 60 was when my life just begun.
Yeah.
I made some of the best decisions of my life.
Yeah.
Best business moves, best disruptive moves at 60 years old. You're not getting too old. You're getting old enough to get started.
Yes.
All that what you have done. You know how much that spoke to me?
Yeah.
And everything I'm doing now that I've done in my 20s, my 30s, right, is preparing me for the day that when I get older and I'm wise enough and I'm strong enough to push past the ignorance of my youth.
Yeah.
And now I can make this.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's
I don't have to wind down the older I get.
Yes,
I wind myself up.
And that's another thing, getting out of that, what society says. Of course, enjoy your retirement time. But that don't mean you got to stop. That don't mean you have to stop building. That don't mean you have to stop wanting, continuing to do more for you, your families, like continue to be disruptive. You retiring has nothing to do with you being disruptive.
No.
You can still be disruptive at any age of your life.
Yeah.
And I love that. Like, just don't think, oh, because, you know, the older you get.
Oh, I'm too old to go back to school. No, if you dream of being a doctor, pick
Continue,
yourself up and get it
and go
done.
back.
You're more qualified now than you was then.
Oh, the course looks different. Doing something else different. I may not be able to go back now.
Nah, you too smart not to be the doctor you dream to be. You know, yeah, I can't write a book. I don't, honey. There's people who write for you. You know, just spend money.
Just
you know, don't sit there and wait.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to record. Well, then get the vocal coach.
Yeah.
Build your vocals up.
Absolutely.
Get in the studio.
Absolutely. This is the time to be disruptive.
Yeah.
It's the time for disruption. And
we can even speak to like in our church.
Yes.
You know, our best days are not behind us. They're before us. You know? Yeah. Or if we just had so and so. No. You are so and so. You are what we need. Yeah. Let's do this thing.
Absolutely. This is I'm telling you, this book is really going to shift a lot in our church, in your personal lives, relationships, whatever the case may be. This is going to be a major shift in that. And I know you're going to have revival soon. So
yeah, it's going to hit us. We're working on one.
Look, it's going to be happening soon. But no, this is absolutely. I mean, Pastor, at least something that I do want to ask before, maybe speaking to somebody who has watched this video, who's watching this video, who will watch the video, let's say that too. And they're saying, okay, well, Pastor, I do believe this is me. I do believe that I see myself in this category, and I know that I need to shift. What would be my first step?
I think that for one category of people, the mere fact that you're giving yourself permission to dream, go write it down. Mm-hmm. That's a major breakthrough for you. Yeah. There's another category who has notebook after notebook after notebook, scribble after scribble after scribble. Mm-hmm. Okay, then do the research. Mm-hmm. Start showing up in environments and in rooms that give you access to what you need. One of the greatest things I wish I would have learned in my youth, I'm still young in my youth, was don't just dream and don't just do. Connect. Get in the room with people who do what you do, think what you think, dream what you dream. Listen, navigate. You don't have to be friends, partner. Get the information and then go back and interpret it how you see it. Yeah. Last thing is I'm talking to that person. Yeah. Make the sacrifice and put your money in it. Don't expect somebody to give you what you're not willing to give yourself. I paid for my own album. I paid for my own book. Yeah. If I expected you to buy it, I have to be willing to put my money into it. Right? If you don't think it's worth it, nobody else will.
Amen. I mean, you guys definitely continue to, as you guys are here, make sure you have tagged somebody and share this. I know it's going to be a great blessing to somebody if they were not here with us. So, I mean, we got prayer call coming up. Maybe you may need some extra prayer. Definitely come in and join us as we can pray for you.
Awesome. God bless you all. Have a great night.
Have a great night.